Welcome to the Burgershack. I am Hatemael, and today we have Zubaz.
Merry holidays. Happy Toyotathon.
That's funny because I just bought a new Toyota as well. So, wasn't
Honda days.
it wasn't?
We know that, Hate. We watch you all the time.
Yeah, I meant to post that in the chat and I never did. It's funny because I got back from vacation and the day I got back, my truck has just I spent like over $6,000 in repairs in the last month and a half, and the day before I was leaving, I went and bought a jacket because in Florida you go to South Dakota and there's no you don't have proper clothing. So I was like, yeah, I should probably buy a good jacket because it's supposed to be 7 degrees when I get there.
Were you visiting Tootie?
No, I was on the other side. I talked to him when I was originally planning on going. I was doing skiing in Erie Peak, and then we went and saw the National Monument, and then went to the Badlands and all that stuff. But the day before I left, my truck, I was just driving along, and I have a lot of miles. I have 138,000, so it's getting to that point. I've been wanting to buy a new one, but trucks, as everybody knows, are outrageous at the moment. So I've been trying to hold out until next year because I figured they'd come down in price. But I was driving out of the parking lot, and my truck just dies. Completely shuts off. I'm like, that's probably bad. Started it back up, drove home, and it kept jerking and acting weird. And I'm like, oh. So I took it into the local shop, and they're like, oh, you're going to take this dealership. We can't figure out what's wrong with it. I'm like, damn it. I'll just worry about it when I get back. So I got back and was driving to go pick my dog up from daycare while we were on vacation. And when it drove fine there, and then when I was leaving, it just started, like every time it went into second gear, it just like started jerking, acting like it was going to shut off. I'm like, oh, this is bad. And one of the days we got snowed in, so I had done some online shopping. So I went and looked and ended up getting a new truck that day because I didn't think I was going to make it to the dealership. So I was lucky when I got there. It acted perfectly fine when they checked it out, so they gave me a great trade-in. But anyway.
So if you're listening, other dealers, touch the beat.
So, and it was a Toyotathon. I ended up getting one of those TRD.
Did you get the big bow?
I did not. I was disappointed in that.
Oh.
Actually, they left me a note on what they could do better, if anything, and I'm going to tell them next time I need the bow.
Perfect.
A lot of dealerships don't do that. Like I got my wife a new car, I think 3 years ago, and I asked for the bow, and they're like, yeah, that's just really the commercials.
That's funny.
Oh, I would insist on it. I'd be like, you're going to go get a bow. If I'm going to drop this amount of money, we're going to find a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little better price than I was expecting, so. Nice truck. I was happy with it. But anyway, cool. So we have Burger, the Big Mack attack, and M4, are you going to talk on this, or are you just listening?
It depends if you guys say something dumb and I have to save your asses. So,
so yes. So his answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes. So, anyway, I guess we're going to talk about DC Legends. Is that what we're talking about today?
I was on for Snap.
Oh, okay. Let's get into the new characters, and the first one, let's talk about Stitch first, because they have got limited background, or not a ton of story, I would guess.
Very limited background. If you want to know about Stitch, you can probably read every Stitch appearance in about 20 to 25 minutes. Stitch came in the Titans Academy series that we have that's recently canceled, although was fairly popular. Titans Academy, if you're unfamiliar, the concept of it is it's the old Teen Titans from the 80s, so Nightwing, Beast Boy, Starfire, etc. They are the teachers at a school kind of training the next generation of Teen Titans and Titans that are going to be upcoming. And Stitch was one of the more intriguing characters from the group. A lot of them tend to be like sort of little knockoffs. We've got like Gorilla Greg and other characters like that. But Stitch was pretty unique in their own right. Stitch is a sentient ragdoll, and most of the series, Stitch's appearances are, kind of jokes about being like an overgrown carnival toy and that sort of thing. We come to learn a couple things that they definitely stress. One, that Stitch is gender nonconforming, which was a pretty unique and new take for DC Comics to really insert into a spotlight role. But for background wise, that Dr. Fate specifically kind of created Stitch as this effigy, and sent Stitch to the Titans Academy to kind of learn what it is to become a hero. So that's really all the background that you need to know about Stitch. There's a lot of people that sort of are guessing that Stitch is somehow related to Ragman. That hasn't panned out yet. We haven't really seen it. There's no real similarities other than appearance. But that is all we've got on Stitch. This is a character that was created at the latest in 2020 into 2021. And so it's part of this new sort of movement by DC Legends to really insert all these new limited appearance characters and try to get some of the current readers into the game.
Yeah, I had never heard of Stitch before, but now that you said something that I also have not heard about, but I'm probably going to change my IGN to, is Gorilla Greg. We really need Gorilla Greg in the game.
So I only played with Stitch a teeny bit. Because they're only L2. I really don't know. I mean, seems like a halfway decent character. What do you guys?
Oh, yeah.
You have it L5, correct, Burger?
I do. Yeah, I bought shards of to go RB4. But yeah, I have L5 so far. I really like them. I mean, they're hitting pretty hard. I mean, they're a little squishy at times, but a lot of Mystic Tunes are. But I mean, hitting hard. The times that I haven't used them a lot outside of Siege, but the times that I have, like going against Spectre, does a good job of neutering Spectre, and kind of keeping Spectre in line. But yeah, I've enjoyed them. I've already got RB4 shards, just waiting for crystals.
Nice. Yeah, I think Stitch is good. Honestly, when this kit came out, and this isn't to knock Stitch as a character. I think Stitch is a valuable sort of new addition to the direction that DC Comics is headed. We've got a character that is throwing down massive amounts of intelligence downs while also gaining a tremendous amount of intelligence ups. To me, it really struck me as a kit designed for like one of the more important sort of sorcerers, magicians, wizards of DC Comics. Like, this is a kit that I probably would have given to the Dead King in Atlantis, or Felix Faust, or somebody like that. And instead, we sort of get it on this brand new character, which is fine. But I think they're great. I had a match it was the first time that I was running Stitch. At the time, I only had L2. And I since have taken all the way up to L5 because I've seen how effective they can be. And it was a match against Darkseid and Spectre. And Darkseid and Spectre were not doing anything, because you've got that AoE move that is on no cooldown, that you can just drop buff immunity and 7 intelligence downs every single turn. So you can stack up to 14 at a time. That is enough to kind of keep both Darkseid and Spectre at bay. And that, to me, just impressed the heck out of me. And so that's why I've taken Stitch all the way up now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think, just overall legendary order for... It didn't seem like it mattered as much on this character, but I could be wrong.
Oh, no, there's 2 that you want to kind of lead off with. That AoE move, it is the go-to move. To just break down the kit a little bit more, so the 2 is an overheal that virtually does nothing. We knew it wasn't going to do anything when they gave us the kit. it was never intended to be like a Lex level overheal or anything like that. Taking the awareness is nice, but so it's really that AoE, that special damage, 7 int downs while you're gaining int ups. That really is kind of like Stitch's bread and butter. So you're going to want first to take, I think, the 4 to reduce the cooldown of it of hero to 0, so that there's never any cooldown on that skill, followed by, in my opinion, the 3 to get that buff immunity down, because I think that that's a really effective addition to that skill. Now, if you are more concerned with just keeping Stitch alive, you might want to go the awareness route. Like, if you don't plan on really using Stitch that much for skills, and you're just like, okay, I need Stitch to just kind of survive these siege matches so I get bonus points, okay, fine. Start the battle with the 2 awareness, maybe get the awareness on the 2 skill. But for me, I think go 4-3, 5-2-1, or 4-3-2-5-1 is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so I actually did 5-4-3-2-1 actually. So I know you said 4-3, but I'm all about first surviving, and so I wanted to take the 5 first to start off with the 2 awareness.
Yeah, I took the 5 first, but I kind of see the point that Zubez is making.
But Burger, you took those legendaries like in rapid succession, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think one of the interesting things about Stitch too, and granted, Stitch right now, we're not quite sure if they're functioning correctly, because the text from Reeves's post about Dr. Fate is like not in the game. So Stitch may also be getting 3 more intelligence ups if you have Dr. Fate. And it does not appear that Stitch is using the basic at the end of their turn like they're supposed to. But so all that being said, obviously the big thing here is that intelligence ups also help you for defense. So that's why Stitch actually kind of comes pretty hard to kill unless you're facing like a physical red that's just going to blow them out of the water. In this siege, especially with Peacemaker ignoring awareness and that sort of thing, those awareness aren't even going to help you. So I think it does depend on kind of what you plan on using Stitch for, but I think that AoE is just an absolutely killer skill.
I have had her use the new kit at the end of her turn, though, a few times.
Oh, okay, so that did start working?
Yeah, I've had her do it where she's hit like 4 times in succession.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The basic?
That wasn't working initially.
Oh, but is it Stitch's turn or the enemy's turn? Because there is kind of ambiguous in the way it was phrased.
Oh, yeah, it looked like when I've seen it trigger, it was at the end of her turn.
Yeah, it's supposed to be at Stitch's turn. I understand where there's confusion just based like a little bit on the pronoun situation, but no, it is absolutely supposed to be at the end of Stitch's turn.
Okay, so now it's working. Okay, I have to pay attention then.
All right, well, let's move on to the tune that is likely going to be nominated S tier right out of the gate, and that would be Cheshire. Zubaz.
Yeah, Cheshire is a super fun character. If I was doing rankings, I would definitely put Cheshire top 5 assassins in DC Comics. They jockey her position quite a bit. Most recently, I think in Birds of Prey about 10, 15 years ago, they said that she was only 2nd behind Shiva. I think maybe she might be knocked down now behind Cassie as well. Regardless, she is absolutely one of the top martial artists that has ever existed in DC, while also being like the absolute queen of poisons. That is her MO, and it's a really cool one. Really great character. This, a lot of people don't realize, has sort of snuck in as like a Teen Titans month, because you've got Stitch from Titans Academy as one new character, and Cheshire, who her entire character arc has always been closely intertwined with the Teen Titans. She debuted in Teen Titans. Her biggest love interest was Roy Harper, Arsenal from Teen Titans. She has always kind of existed a little bit as a villain to the Teen Titans, and was also like a big part of the Young Justice show that really had a lot of character development for her there too. So we do have kind of a Titans month on our hand. Just a very, very cool character. One of the few explicitly sort of half Vietnamese characters that we've got. I think that sometimes they veer into problematic characterizations of her, sort of treating her in the same way that they've done with Shiva as like, ooh, the mysterious dragon woman type situation. But when they don't do that, she's a really great mercenary. In terms of like recommended reading, her first appearances in New Teen Titans are outstanding. The Titans series from the late 90s, she has some very good appearances. And then Birds of Prey, she does really well there too. And then kind of an offbeat one, around the New 52, Aquaman had a side series called Aquaman and the Others, where he had like this other ragtag team that kind of went around the world finding ancient Atlantean artifacts. And they run into a very fascinating combo is Cheshire and KG Beast, two very bizarre characters kind of interacting together. And they have a really fun arc from the mid 2010 era that I would recommend as well. But she is a wonderful character. I always recommend the Young Justice shows because I think they treated her very well. Just one of your top assassins. And I think, a lot of the time my analysis here is, did the game give a kit that sort of honors the character? And here they definitely did. They gave her the disease that is the trademark of her being a master toxicologist, while also giving her the assassin skills that we've seen from Cassie, Shiva, that sort of thing. So they introduce us to that hybrid, and man, oh man, is it lethal.
I do have a confession to make. I have never watched Young Justice.
What?
I know.
Okay, so we need to have a WOWL watch party, I guess. Then.
I know. It's one of those things I've heard from so many people how good it is, and I'm like, I just haven't made time for it, and it's definitely on my list of things to make time for.
The cool thing is that there's so many seasons of it now. Like you can sit there. It's not like you watch one and then you have to wait for a while.
Yeah.
Like you can binge watch really well with it.
So in game, I've faced her, so I can tell you she's absurd. But Burger, why don't you give us your feedback?
Yeah, she's. I know she's not like she's really badass. Let's put it at that. She is really good. But she in my mind, like, it's not the same as when Trigon came out and everybody's like, how the heck am I managing this and what's going on? Like, she can still be managed very easily. And I mean, like, I've faced her a few times already this siege, haven't had any issues with her at all. I mean, the only reason I lost it to him was stupid Atrocitus Supergirl. So anybody out there using her, that combo sucks. But outside of that, she's sick. She's really good. And, she can stack disease. She avoids awareness, retaliates. Like, she's really good.
I don't know. I disagreed with a couple of the inclusions into her kit that I think made her maybe on the slight end of imbalance. I do think that she is somebody that you're going to want to bring can't miss to handle. It's not somebody that is going to fall easily if you forget to bring a can't miss tune. Because the thing is, like, Cassie Kane has that sort of, there's a million evasion ups, but you get this window where they can all fall off and you're golden. Cheshire doesn't give you that window. Cheshire can just keep stacking the evasion ups while also evading, while also applying disease to you. So that is what's going to make her, very high A, if not S tier immediately, on top of her disease ignoring immunities, which I thought was overkill. But that, is what it is. I think in that sense, we took out one of her only known predators, which would have been Terra. So you have to be very careful. To me, because of that, it's a character that you have to kill immediately. If you leave her to be last, you're probably going to be in a lot of trouble. She can definitely 1v4 teams, like very easily, in the same way that Trigon could. But that being said, she does get awareness, but she doesn't get flat out damage immunity. And so I think that is kind of like her one little Achilles heel, is that you can hit her and you can stun her as well. If you've got can't miss stunners, that helps too.
So she does, like, she 1 versus 4, I posted the video before. The Atrocity Supergirl team hands down takes them, but I just span her 1. Like, I don't use anything else except for her 1. But I mean, I haven't really had any issues with her. I mean, you throw Ultraman or Superman in there and either send the stuff back or just purge it all, and like they just sit there and absorb her hits all day long.
Yeah, I think Connor is kind of one of your better options as well to deal with her. He's got that can't miss on his basic that also gives the stun. So I think that's a really good way to deal with her too.
So on to the legendary orders. What would you guys say?
I took her 2 first. Just so she starts at she uses Sharp Edge at the start of battle. And Sharp Edge is the gain 7 evasion ups, 3 speed up, 4 crit chance up, and 4 crit damage up. And then 80% chance to gain 2 awareness. And then after that, I took her 5 because her 5, as long as she has 3 or more speed ups, she uses Deadly Fingernails. And is retaliating against the attacker. And so against a random enemy, as well as, and then the normal passive ability is, when she evades, she uses Deadly Fingernails on attacker and reduces Sharp Edge cooldown. So I did her 2, then her 5. So that way that kind of enables it. Then after that, I was kind of torn if I wanted to, which direction I would go, but I did the 4. So that way she got the 20% true damage, 3, then 1.
Now, do you feel like there's a one you could leave off? Or not one you could leave off, but is there a ideal, like if she's at L2, is she going to be effective, or does she need to be L4 before she really?
Oh no, I think L2 you could be great. You do
L1.
Yeah, you're honestly good with L1.
Okay.
Yeah,
Get her to L1 and get that second. Yeah.
Yeah,
L2 is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like people aren't realizing too, like her speed is already pretty high, but with her using that at the start of battle, she gains those 3 speed ups. Which effectively adds somewhere in the range of 22 to 30% to her speed. And some dork on his stream calculated like what her starting speed is, and it's probably close to like 142. So people don't realize that she starts first by virtue of you taking that second legendary point.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's a lot. And then also, as of right now, we don't know if this is going to be changing, but I believe that is still not on a cooldown. That you can just use that skill immediately on your first turn.
Oh yeah, you can.
That's like how Terra is. And I thought it was a problem when they had that for Terra, and I think it's a problem when they have it for Jade. But yeah, so you can immediately start off with like 14 evasion ups, 6 speed ups, potentially 4 awareness, and she's probably set on defense for the rest of battle at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the couple times I faced her, it was stupid. Just stupid.
Yeah, you got to work around her for sure. I mean, not you can't hit her because if she starts retaliating, it's you have to plan it perfectly. But I mean, really, like every time I've played her, I really haven't been worried. I either take if somebody has a tonner and I can't get to her directly, just throw Doctor Poison in there, and then you just have Superman or Ultraman, and you're good to go.
All those characters are RB4 for you, right?
She's RB. She's RB3. Randall's RB4. Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, M4? What are your thoughts?
Uh,
So
on her
I'm
own-
impressed. That means we haven't said anything stupid yet, right?
kind of. Well, the thing about her is she's still at heart an evasion tune. Uh, but what makes her infuriating sometimes is, how Richard teams are when you're forced to do an AoE and you're forced to hit her because she's easy to ignore, right? Just don't hit her, you'll be fine. But unfortunately, people pair her with Trigon, and then now you have to AoE on Trigon, and then now you're diseased up, and then now it's a problem. But it also now tells me that they really thought about the siege bonus tunes because her biggest counter, someone that hits under the awareness and can't miss, Peacemaker. God bless the soul of the person that requested him to be stat boosted. It's actually, helping out in the siege. But yes, if you kind of let her go, it's over. Like
Yeah, that
gonna
guy
be
who
over
requested
quick.
that stat boost is the best.
I don't know about that, but
Well, it's funny because I thought, oh, I'll just bring Terra out and it'll be fine. And it really isn't fine to just bring Terra against her.
No, Terra is not the answer. Like I know she seems like the answer, but like you're way better off with like an Ultraman or something like that.
Yeah.
Honor,
it's
Doctor Poison. It's just like Terra just doesn't cut it against her.
Superman plus RB5 Peacemaker can do it, but I still lost tunes.
I do think that they did very much think about the characters for this siege. Peacemaker fits in there well. Batman Beyond can obviously enhance how much you're missing. Ra's al Ghul is there to enhance the disease that she's throwing down. So it was like a well put together thing. In what I will very briefly, use this platform to gripe about. This was obviously supposed to be an Aqua month, and it's not, and I'm furious about it. This was the month that Aquaman 2 was supposed to be released, and so we have the event eligible list for Stitch has Aquagirl, Aqualad, Aquaman, Mera, Ocean Master, Siren, Black Manta. Black Manta has 2 of his hero PvPs, showdown tournaments. Mera has a team thing at the end of the month. Aqualad is the board clear. So this was supposed to be an Aquaman month, and instead they're just like, you know what? We're going to not do the new characters as Aqua characters, but we'll leave everything else. And it sucks. I'm really mad about it, and WB absolutely broke my heart.
well, didn't you know Vandal Savage is like the parent of Atlantis?
In the most recent Young Justice, that is wildly not canon. But yes, that is the closest thing to any of the new characters or reworks that we have being related to Atlantis. I guess in some way, I'm like a little happy in the sense that like maybe they'll do an Aqua month in the middle of the year, so I could get 2 reworks instead of just 1. But still, I was just surprised that they didn't like completely just be like, okay, so we're not going to do the Aqua month. Let's scrap everything. But they didn't. They just left everything else.
Oh, that's too much work just to change all of those setup, right? So
Well, it's not like they didn't have like advance notice of it though. Like Aquaman got moved like 6 months ago.
Well, someone didn't get the memo until yesterday. So.
That's true. That's true.
And speaking of Vandal Savage, I heard we had a rework this month.
Yes, Vandal Savage did get reworked this month, I guess. Didn't know where you were going with that.
It's so funny because before this episode, I had to actually pull up the post to remember who it was.
Vandal Savage has been reworked. I think Vandal Savage is better, but I think Vandal Savage is still not going to ever be your option, your best bet for like, oh, I want a blue that's going to kill everything in sight.
What he's really good at, though, is if you want to bring a blue that's not going to die out of the gates. I'm outside of Siege, I'm probably not going to use Vandal a lot, but in the Siege, you can take those hits and you can just constantly be dead immune.
Yeah. All I do is span his and Cheshire's one. That's it.
I'm glad we're really making the strategy of the game hard with these new characters.
I just hit their one nonstop, and that's all.
I don't. Yeah, I guess I did. I have used him a couple times, but
he ramps really well now. Like that is a thing. Like you can start to really stack up those int ups, and you'll be in good shape. And I do think that we steered them to make the character a little bit more interesting with the lore by just like stacking those death immunities. That's Vandal Savage's whole thing, is he's immortal.
He doesn't die.
Yeah, he doesn't die. And in this game now, he doesn't die. So I think that that's neat. But like, are you going to bring him instead of, if you have a high level Etrigan, or, Spectre or Black Flash or, another blue tune that, you're going to still reach for them instead of Vandal, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. And Stitch and Vandal has the same problem. Their ramp is based on the timing is at the end of their turn, so they're kind of pretty useless. Well, Stitch can kind of hit the AOE with the int downs and then hits hard on turn 2. Same with Vandal, but apparently the right way to use Vandal is just ramp the basics. So, but it's still kind of hits hard on turn 2. And turn 1, they're both pretty weak. They're not gonna hit hard, and then turn 2, that's when they start.
So for Legendary Order on Vandal,
I prefer Stitch to Vandal only because Stitch with the int downs, like if you pair Stitch with like Black Adam or Spectre or any high, they're taking advantage of the entire 7 int downs or 14 int downs on the enemy team.
The problem is Peacemaker. Well, especially people with RB4. So those annoying.
In Siege, that's definitely the case, yeah.
And I was gonna say, Stitch. I was just playing in Wraith on auto, and Stitch did its AOE, and then I got hit by Spectre AOE, and everything just was obliterated. I mean, Spectre AOE does a lot of damage, but it just melted through everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, like those 14 int downs. Like, I don't think people realize like how much that's that effectively like makes everything hit 140% higher, more or less.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
So back to Vandal, just a quick Legendary Order. I thought 5 first. Do you guys agree or disagree with that? I like the death immunity to start personally, but
yeah, opens all his gates.
Yeah, because he's so slow.
And then I like the 2 next, which is the gain medium overheal and 40% turn meter, because I tend to use the 2 pretty quick.
Yep, that's what you're gonna open with most of the time. Yes.
And then
I think the 1 at that point.
Yeah, I would do 1.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. Probably is 1, and then
4.
4 is the only one that you might consider taking higher, only for right now. I will not explicitly state why, just that let's just say it's very true to the name of the skill. And so it is eating a lot of debuffs, perhaps more than it should be. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Someone should report that, I guess.
I agree.
You know what? Someone should tell Costly.
Revenge served best cold.
Yes.
And I think that wraps it up. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we end the show?
Do we want to plug Toyota anymore?
No, I think they've gotten plenty of free advertising. and I'll put a couple pictures right at the beginning of the episode, too, just for them.
Oh, another. Zubas, do we hype? Keep it mysterious.
What?
Oracle?
I think based on the timeline, I think maybe we still sit on that mystery for one more month.
Okay.
Something's coming though, guys. Something big.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon, yeah.
You guys can't start this right now and then make me wait.
I do have to
think
say,
it's going to be coming soon, faster than DCL's coming soon, though.
Oh.
I will say that.
Oh yes, for sure. Oracle's coming out before Chapter 9 does.
Yes, that is true.
I can guarantee that.
Was there anything special happening this month other than the normal Christmas stuff?
Well, we got the Christmas sales. This is the second year in a row they're doing the Advent calendar, which has been nice. Day 8 was just the 2 rebirth crystals. So
I don't think I got
hopefully, well,
it came today, this afternoon.
I don't think I've logged in yet this afternoon.
Yeah, you'll probably get them when you get there today, but they did get distributed. Other than that, no. This is kind of that like little bit of a slow month. There's not going to be raids at the end of month.
Thank
right. One rework, and then we are under the impression that there are at least 2 more. We hope a lot more, but at least 2 more bug fixes coming in, like a second wave of bug fixes.
There are no bugs. Yeah. There's just kit misunderstandings.
Yeah, we'll call.
I
did
did
a second wave of bugs enough to consider the first wave an actual wave of bug fixes.
It's a what you call that? What do you call that when you drop a? It's not a wave. What do you call that? Like
teaser.
The word escapes. No. The word escapes. When you drop a pebble in a pond, what do you call that? It's not a wave. It's
ripple.
Yes, that's it. It's a ripple of fixes. It's basically one fix that affected quite a few tunes. That's pretty much it. And then the second quote-unquote wave, probably a lot of text changes.
I actually have 108 rebirth crystals right now.
That's insane. I'm regretting the 40 I spent on Supergirl earlier.
No, you shouldn't.
It's for Wraith. It's so nice. Just
it'll come in handy.
Just speed through.
But okay, well, cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that is it. We will wrap it up here. And if you have, I don't remember what I was going to say there, but this may be our last episode before the holidays. So everybody, happy holidays if you celebrate. Merry Christmas, and I'm sure we'll have one before the New Year. So
love you guys.
We appreciate you all hanging in there. We've been late on everything that's come out lately, but this kind of breaks it up a little. So I've been so bad about gearing characters. I haven't even geared. What's the stretchy guy?
Plastic Man. Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, I haven't geared yet. I got like 5 characters that are not geared. I'm like, I keep like instinctively leaving slow gears because I'm worried it's going to revert. But it's been long enough now that there's no reason.
Yeah.
The guy who pushed for like removing that gear mission.
I know for my
that's not gear
for
tunes.
5 straight years, I've like argued and fought and screamed about it, and then as soon as they pass it, I just don't even gear up the characters. It's kind of sad. I got 4 that need to be geared right now. I just can't gear Garth. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't have him geared either. That's my only one.
It's like I'll just leave him.
I have 2 tunes at 79, just to be sure, just in case.
Garth is still level 1 for me.
Oh dang!
I haven't touched 10.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks for everything. I'm gonna
All right, guys.
go to the office. I'm gonna do some more work. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Burger.
All right.
Don't forget to send me video, a bunch of it.
Okay. Bye.
All right, thanks, man.
All right.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.